Hey, we're talking high performance today, especially as it pertains to our Sports Performance Institute here at Penn State. We call our group performance because we're focused mainly on improving the consistency of high level output, wellness, health, performance of our student athletes. Okay, we think about the institute model, meaning we are all learning from one another, our athletes, our peers, our colleagues, our competition, and we're driving innovation in a lot of different ways. So we're thinking Performance Institute and cultivating high performance. Okay, when we think about high performance, there's typically four areas that we remember here at Penn State to help us stay focused. First is we're going to keep the athlete at the center of every single thing that we do. Decision making, planning, moving forward, long term, decisions we make about the innovations that we bring on, technology that we procure from different types of company, plans that we make for the entire organization and the department. Everything keeps the athlete at the center of the conversation. Okay. Second one is communication. Communicating across groups, breaking down walls between groups is everything. What that allows us to do is to not safeguard and guard our information, but it allows us to play cards up and to allow everybody to know what's going on. When we communicate, if you've read some of General McChrystal's work, especially like within Team of Teams, he talks about CCing people on emails that are not super sensitive in nature so that everybody can learn from the situation. When we're open about what we're doing and we're proactive in communicating, it's very easy for us to all be on the same page. Dr. Olson here in performance psychology talks all the time about what information do I know, who needs to know that information, and then finally asking yourself, have I told them that information? So communication is huge for us. Okay, the third aspect is planning and evaluation. When we think about planning, we think about both in the short term, okay, maybe the day, a practice plan, a practice shell, a training template, or it could be a long-term plan. It could be a 4-year or a 5-year plan if an athlete has redshirted throughout their career. And then part of that planning process is an evaluation, again, small and big. It could be an after-action review where we all get together in the weight room following a session and we just talk about wins and losses of what happened that day. Or it could be an entire block evaluation summarizing what we had positive happen to us during the season or off season, and things that we can work on. But planning and evaluation set the course of where we're going. And finally, maybe the most innovative aspect of this list is we need to create and maintain a learning organization. One of the biggest competitive advantages that we have are our people. Okay. And when our people are relentless in learning over time and building cohorts of learners over time within the organization, we're all going to rise. When we think about performance as well, we want to kind of think about guarding against this reductionist type approach. Okay, if you read some of the contemporary literature about how multiple systems, complex units come together, we can't just break it down into the parts. This is a classical work here when we look at a mechanical duck. The duck here pictured, we could take it apart, we could put it back together. Most likely it's going to work. If we take a real duck apart and just pull it into its component pieces, most likely we're not going to be able to get it back together. And if we do, it's probably not going to work the same way. We cannot just reduce things down to their pieces. We need to think about our athletes, our teams, our systems that we employ to develop our athletes and teams as complex biological systems. Just like this pond, we have organic, inorganic substances that work together. 1 + 1 does not always equal 2. If the sun's shining and plants grow and then an organism comes and eats it, it changes everything. And that is college athletics. That is elite level sport. So we need to be thinking about how everything interacts and works together. Within our institute model here, and what we're trying to think about innovation, learning, growth amongst our unit, we want to have 3 different aspects. And we started this about 2 years ago. Okay, so when we started thinking about how we could grow as a unit and bring everybody together, we developed and deployed what we call performance school. Okay, right now we're going on our 4th semester of performance school, and what performance school is a group of professionals across the Penn State system. We have coaches, we have staff, we have academics from the University Park campus. We are very fortunate. We have 20 Penn State universities across the state. We've invited these guys and ladies to join us in growing. Performance school was built upon the foundation of, in the literature, what you'll find as communities of practice. A community of practice is essentially people with a similar goal, belief system, even a set of customs that want to continue to grow and get better. And that unit, that cohesion between the people within the community of practice actually makes the group stronger. Okay, so performance school is our first aspect of our Performance Institute, and it's targeting our coaches, our staff, the people in the Penn State system. The second area is what we call Performance Academy, where Performance School targets staff and coaches. Performance Academy is a graduated system of curricula that takes our athletes through commonly needed topics that can improve their performance. Things like developing a performance routine, sleep education, health and wellness, just knowledge about the flu vaccine. These little things are low-hanging fruit, but they add up for our student athletes. Our Performance Academy started in the fall of 2021, and we started with Penn State football. We had the ability to deliver this in small chunks of information to different position groups. And then because we have such a wonderful support system here at Penn State, we're able to scale it out to the different teams, all 30 other teams here at Penn State University. So we've had Performance School targeting our staff. We've had a Performance Academy targeting our student athletes. The next component that brings everybody together is what we're going to call our Performance Hub. And that is launching right now in the spring of 2022. We're going to call it the Hub and use a keystone representing the state of Pennsylvania. If you can think about an archway, the keystone is the stone at the top of the arch. What that does is it's the strength of the arch. It puts everybody there. It holds all the weight. It is the central point where everything comes together. All the weight, all the other points of contact come together, and it shares, it distributes that weight, and everybody else benefits. So for us, our keystone within the Performance Institute is our Performance Hub. We're going to talk more extensively about each one of these different areas as we move forward, okay? But what we want to do within the Performance Institute model is to never stop learning. We never want to stop getting better. We never want to stop being able to find innovation and to infusing it into our practice. It could be in the form of technology, data, simple observation from professional to professional, okay? Would encourage you to come join us as we continue to learn and grow within this. We have a couple different resources here in terms of social media. If you snap a picture of this QR code, it'll take you right to our learning classroom on YouTube. We're talking Penn State Performance Institute and our sports performance team.